Hello and welcome to the Bastard Invades WonderCon. In this video I'll talk a little about some of the panels I went to, but most of this will be devoted to the photos both Subatomic Laura and I took while on the show floor and at the various panels. Before I go further, I want to thank both Laura for the use of her photos, which turned out a lot better than mine, and Lisa, the registration manager who I volunteered with and worked for during the 3 days. I had a great time working the pre-registration booth and was impressed how organized and seamless she made the department. Finally, things won't be in any kind of chronological order, so don't expect them to be. Saturday, we just barely got into a panel called Unlocking Arkham, Forensic Psychiatry and Batman's Rogues Gallery. Psychiatrist H. Eric Bender, Praveen Kambam, and Vasilis K. Prozius, hope I said those names right. They talked a little about psychiatry, the difference between psychotics and psychopaths, using some of Batman's villains, and through psychiatric diagnosis determined whether or not they could be found not guilty by reason of insanity. You may know Gotham City's villains, but you'd be surprised by their prognosis. I say just barely because whoever decided what room to present this in obviously didn't anticipate the sheer volume of people willing to watch and listen. The room seated perhaps 30 to 40 people, and twice to 3 times that many stood in line. Whoops. Thankfully, we were among the last few let in, and we were able to see it in its entirety. Unfortunately, neither Laura nor I took any photos, due to them almost immediately going dark with a slideshow, but I enjoyed it immensely, and I hope if they decide to do it a third time, according to the program schedule, they're backed by popular demand. I hope WonderCon supplies them with a bigger room. Friday, we listened to Michael Chiklis and Mark Andreyko talk about their comic project Pantheon, which is being put out by IDW and centers on the idea of Michael as a modern-day Zeus. In addition, Michael did a nice Q&A where he humored some questions concerning his past TV projects and on being Ben Grimm, The Thing. Really good stuff. Saturday, there was a spotlight on David Finch with pretty much just a Q&A, and while I've never been a fan of his artwork, he did manage to put on an alright show and keep me mildly entertained for the most part. Afterwards, Axel Alonso, Vice President and Executive Editor of the X-Men line, was joined by C.B. Sobolski, Rob Liefeld, and another guy whose name escapes me to talk about the past Necrotia story and the upcoming Second Coming story that's supposed to change the status quo of the X-Men for some time. It was an okay segment, but they really didn't get me excited for what's on the horizon and didn't really give much away in terms of storyline. On a side note, I later learned that while this was going on in the Esplanade Ballroom, they were showing exclusive footage of the losers along with the live cast, but all the program guide mentioned was Warner Brothers. Not one inkling of who'd be there or even an announcement over the PA. I was kind of pissed when I heard this. Had I known, I would have ditched Finch and the X-Men and gone to see them. Oh well. Sunday, I missed Max Brooks's panel. He's the author of the Zombie Survival Guide. I was working the pre-reg counter, but Laura snapped a few photos here. Thankfully, the day before Saturday, we chanced upon him signing at his booth, so I got my book autographed and told him how much I love it and how I treat it like a Bible. Luckily, Sunday I was able to check out the Roots of TV horror hosting with John Stanley of Creature Features, Mr. Lobo of Cinema Insomnia, Ernie Fuselius, I hope I said his name right, of Hardware Wars, and Tom Wersk, I hope I said his name right, producer of Watch Horror Films, Keep America Strong, a retrospective film about Creature Features and its 2 hosts, Bob Wilkins and John. They showed a few scenes from the DVD, which I bought and had John autograph, and also showed a trailer for a Plan 9 from Outer Space remake in the works. A great panel, and I enjoyed listening to them talk about the heydays of horror shows. Finally, we come to the piece de resistance. Yes, Friday night for 2 hours, Laura and I had the honor of listening to the original Jersey Boy bastard, Kevin Smith, as he answered some of the stupidest questions people could ask. If you've heard Kevin talk, you know there's nothing he won't reveal, and we not only learned about his love for the fleshlight, you're gonna have to look it up yourself, but also his adventures on the toilet and ordering groceries online while high as a kite. Was he vulgar? Oh yes. Was he a smartass? I expected nothing else. And was he entertaining? Fuck yeah. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that he's fun to talk to. Someday, I'd like to meet him face to face, if only for a few minutes. So from here, I'll let the music play and you can feast your eyes on some of the photos Laura and I took on the show floor, and I'll round out this video with the real reason why you clicked on it. Take care.